I'm your host, Lauren Meadows of GatorMadeMedia.com with the best shoe game in the Gator media. And unfortunately, we are right back where we were 2 weeks ago with Coach Billy Napier on the chopping block. Just how much longer will Napier man the sidelines for the Gators? Did his recent comments signal the end? If so, what led to the historically bad record under Napier? Where did he go wrong? And when will and who can lead the Gators back to national prominence? We talk about all that and more with Rob Browne of SEC Sidelines, an 11-year NFL vet and co-host of SEC Network's Read and Reaction, and SEC Nation analyst Roman Harper joins us to break it all down and tell us what is going on with the Florida program. And like we always do about this time, Kicks of the Week is in the building, as well as Hyper Have At It. The Sidelines team would like to thank our sponsors, Meldon Law and Titan MRI and Imaging. Subscribe to The Lowdown with Lauren Meadows on YouTube and Facebook, as well as our partner shows, including The Buddy Martin Show, SEC Sidelines, and other shows on the Sidelines Live Network. And follow yours truly on Instagram at Ohio Gator for Life and X at Real Ohio Gator. Let's get to it. So once again, the Gators go down to Texas A&M, 34-17. Tough one,
How about
guys.
that intro, though? I mean, I haven't danced since I was,
that was
at the
nice.
Roxy in Vegas.
Yeah, no doubt. And shout out to Meldon Law. Got my tie-dye shirt on. Compliments of Meldon Law. You know, we'll definitely get to them. But, it's Dallin tonight. But, guys, just a rough, straight up start. Got it rolling, went down, marched down the field, then gave up 2 big plays. We were 7-7, and then we get it going again. But it's the lack of staying power. And what frustrates me is it's more of the same. And it's every game. It's 0-14 against ranked opponents on the road. Yeah. It's 4 wins on the road total. And it's funny, I was telling somebody, I've been there for all 4 of Billy Napier's road wins. I've been at every single game live, and it's only 4. So, I mean, that's, but I think, I know you guys listen to the press conference. When a guy starts talking about why he is getting paid what he's getting paid and kind of starting to justify the buyout, I mean, I think the writing's on the wall. And unfortunately, what I still cannot believe is that a place like the University of Florida, how they are closer to Nebraska than they are Georgia. Florida is in jeopardy. If they make a coaching change and this one isn't right, they are literally going to be Nebraska. This will be the 7th head coach since Steve Spurrier. And Rob, I mean, I just saw a team that, I mean, we talk about an offensive coordinator, and I'm going to tell you guys right now, I know enough football to know that the offensive coordinator is not the only problem. You see a team that is getting pushed around. You see a team that's getting bullied. And I never saw a coach step to the podium and tell me about a kid running 25, 26 miles, all these strength gains, things like that were supposed to be so prominent, and they're not showing up on the field. And I think at the end of the day, and we'll talk to Roman about this, all the other goodwill, and like this weekend, they're going to talk about the Gator Made program, and it's excellent. They're going to salute all the support staff. They're excellent. The new head coach needs to keep some of these people. But the thing that I don't understand is, how did we lose sight of 12 Saturdays in the fall, Rob? 12 Saturdays. That's all that matters.
9 times.
Yeah. Well, and I think, like Brenden and I yesterday morning with, Pete Cordelli and Ellis Johnson and Dave Bartu, College Football Matrix, Dave really brought up the lack of continuity. That's your problem. You don't, and listen, Roman, by the way, he works out every day, and he's been out of the league for about, I don't know, not that long, but he still takes care of himself. It's something you can force a guy to go to strength training, but organic, passion is really what makes it happen. But there's so many guys coming and going. It's hard to build a unit. And I talked to a veteran coach today who, he coached Emmett Smith in high school. He coached Dion at Florida State. And he said that the defenses are just chewing up these offensive lines because they're not close. There's very little, there are very few, if any, offensive lines that have been together for 2 or 3 or 4 years. Those guys that grow up together. So that's a problem right there. And mental toughness with kids, they're just not as, they're not as upset after a loss as they used to be because they just go get their mobile banking app. Roman will tell you about this in the pros. That mobile banking app can disappear in a heartbeat. They'll cut you.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this, though.
Cut you.
Here's the thing, though. Then how does
you gotta ask me? I'm waiting. How
do other schools do it though, Rob? How does Lane Kiffin do it? How does Dan Lanning do it? How is Texas Tech doing it? I understand that you're going to have new people and you're going to have new pieces, but the football has to still look like football. We have a quarterback who is literally close to 30% versus drop 8 coverage. There are systematic issues. You have a fourth and 6, down 7 in plus territory, and you go for it. If you don't get that first down, the game is over, and it was. None of that has to do, there's no new coaches. And what I don't understand, and Buddy talked about this on his show, whatever analytics people they have, they need to hire me. I'll wear a Jordan shirt for $75,000, $80,000 and tell him to punt. I'll be screaming in his ear, punt, punt, punt. Because whatever analytics said go there, I've never seen that. I wrote in my article, I said there'll be 11-year-olds with a controller in their hand that'll punt in that situation. When they're playing college football. And Brenden, go ahead. I know you chomping at the bit, but I mean, it's just I hear what you're saying and I hear the continuity, but this was take the offensive line. Offensive line that was supposed to be a top 5 unit. They haven't played like it. And a lot of that falls at his feet. So, when we get Roman on here, he watches them practice. He sees teams. I want to know, what is the sauce that a Lane Kiffin has, that a Clark Lee has, I don't know the coach Texas Tech right off. What is the sauce? Even a Jeff Lebby who has his team playing better, and Lord knows we better be ready on Saturday because they are a lot better up front than they were last year when we kind of dominated them. But I mean, what is it, Brenden? I see you going 0 dark 30 on me. I mean, go ahead and tap in.
It's bright lights over here, man. What do I think of it? This is what I think of it. This is what it's felt like the entire year. And I don't know why anyone got excited about the win against Texas at home, because that shit happens every year. Tennessee win at home, some sort of he gets this pass that no other coach gets, that no other Gator coach has ever had, that nobody's ever gotten this many breaks, as if we were an up and comer, like that wasn't the University of Florida. Listening to Billy Napier talk about the University of Florida, and then listening to Urban Meyer talk about the University of Florida is not the same conversation. When Urban Meyer talks about the rocket ship that the Swamp is, and how it's such an advantage that it's unbelievable, and then I got to watch Billy play small ball just to hold on to a lead, as if you're not the Florida Gators. And I'm not even getting into the play calling, the inconsistency, the non-communication. I'm not getting into the quarterback development. Just doesn't seem to happen. Yeah. And now what I've also learned is that the physical training aspect of this has not been, let's just say, all that detail oriented. You got your quarterback when he started watching AR get hurt, and then watching potentially DJ Lagway, as reported on Rob's show, overtrained, and potentially a lot of this issue is because he wasn't looked after and in the weight room.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think it's
I've been waiting though.
Here's the thing.
I've been waiting, bro.
Right. Well, here's the thing.
I'm pissed, bro.
Right. No, I get it. I get it.
Don't from everybody on the planet Earth. about not being a Billy guy. I have heard it since Utah last year from all of you in the chat room, everyone else. And I am going to have a second to say, I told you so.
Yeah.
I told you so. I told you so. I never got off of it. I never said any different. I'm pissed.
Yeah.
So go get me Dan Mullen, who's 6-0. Yeah. Hey,
right. Yeah. No, it's
because he wins football games.
Here's the thing is
I'm done with it.
I think that when you break this thing down and you look at it, it stinks of a lot of things. And you're already hearing, Scott Strickland vetted Billy all by himself. There was no committee. There was anything like that. Now Scott Strickland, rumored, and we'll get to that, doesn't want Lane Kiffin for whatever reason. Maybe Lane's the guy, maybe he isn't. But here's what's happening, and what we got to stop doing is this is over. When it's over, we don't know, but it's over. The Napier era is over at Florida, Rob. So that now we need to start talking. I mean, I would like to know, based on Roman, who's seen a lot of basically seen all 16 teams in the SEC, his opinion of where this thing went wrong, what mistakes may have been made, from somebody who gets a lot deeper look under a hood than we do in our roles. But what does it take to get it done in this new NIL space, the transfer portal, and all those things? Because I keep saying, and I think I told you this, Brenden, that night in Utah 2 years ago, as we're drowning our sorrows in cane sauce, if we're not careful, we are going to be Nebraska. And that's what you're going to be, just wandering in the desert. Everybody's still I mean, do you realize, Rob, that there are people that still say to me, I remember we beat Ohio State 41-14. They've won 2 national titles since then, Rob.
Yeah.
They got to get out of, we got to get out of that.
Yeah. Well, go back and look at how cyclical college football powers can be. From 1982 to 2002, Southern Cal, with all their resources, tradition, and people in California, from 82 to 2002, 20-year period, they had 1 double-digit win season. After Barry Switzer left Oklahoma, they went 7 or 8 years. Alabama, 1997 all the way to 2007. That 11-year period, Alabama lost 5 games or more in 8 of those 11 seasons, okay? It is cyclical, and you keep changing coaches. It's like trading too aggressively in a stock portfolio, a hedge fund, a mutual fund, money man. You'll do 2 things. You'll lose all those good stocks because you get impatient and you incur a lot of short-term gains or long-term capital gains. Either way, you're eating up a lot of your profit because if you don't have something better to buy, don't sell or don't sit in cash to them. It's the same thing with coaches in Nebraska. Wow. Nebraska fired Frank Solich. His 7-year
games.
Yeah, exactly. But he went to the Miami, Ohio Bobcats. I mean, they just play great football on all levels in Ohio. That's a state. It's the Alabama north of the Mason-Dixon line. I really think that you look at, Steve Spurrier, Urban Meyer. But you know what? Ray Graves in the 60s at Florida, go back and look. I think the guy won 71% of his game.
Yeah.
Florida had a coach in the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, and the 70s. I think they had like 9 or 10-year runs for all those coaches. And then Urban Meyer. You know what I like about Urban Meyer? You can pick at him. You can go find anybody and tear him apart. He instilled toughness, alpha male culture. It's the only thing. And this myth that these kids can't be coached tough or you can't coach them tough. You know what you do? It's like at Ranger School when I was a reporter at Fort Benning. Find the quitters right now. Quit on me. Quit. Because if you quit in combat, it ain't going to be a good situation for you and everybody around you. Find out who wants to be here. And if you only got 55 players come game day, fight with those. But you cannot keep coddling and playing, trying to be best friends with these kids because you're worried about them going in the portal. The portal's the problem. It ain't NIL. And so if you could have some continuity, it'd be a lot better.
Right. No doubt. And Rob, you're a perspective guy. So I agree with you. You can't keep rotating coaches, things like that. So I want you to play devil's advocate for me before we get Roman on here. And if is there a situation where you can make and let's just say then for the fact that not turning into Nebraska, not turning into some of these old other programs that I say wander in the darkness, looking for the last, USC's on their way there, looking for that, grabbing at that to reach it and get back to it. You're a perspective guy. You look at stocks and things long term. Is there a reason, just humor me, where Florida would even entertain keeping Billy Napier for that fact, to close the revolving door?
You go in there and you tell him, we're going to hire a great offensive coordinator and give you another year, but you've got to stay out of the way. But you can't keep a guy if the overall culture keeps sinking deeper and deeper in the quicksand. And it sucks to keep changing coaches. Go look at Dan Mullen. 3 years in a row, New Year's Six bowls. He made that comment after the Georgia-Florida game. We'll talk about recruiting when it's recruiting season. And now I thought Billy Napier had a good pedigree, but just because he coached with Dabo and coached with Nick Saban, that doesn't mean split, okay? That doesn't. It look at Matt Rule's record against top 5, top 10 ranked teams. It's awful. The standard, when you have a standard, it's like the Marine Corps. Battles fought from within. You learn how to fight on your own. You've got to Urban Meyer, go back. Every recruit that Florida brings in, go watch Swamp Kings. I tell you what, say what you want. We are missing the boat saying you can't be tough on these kids. They want to be pushed. If you keep lowering the bar, what do you think is going to happen? And I want to see these kids crushed after a loss, because that means they're going to go work hard to avoid that happening again. And this victimization, the officiating was bad. Coaches, get over it. Mm-hmm. Quit blaming the officials. Okay. All right. The link, Roman said the link that you sent didn't work. Go ahead, try to do that again. Roman will be with us. But Lauren, Brenden, y'all know football at Florida. You've seen the best, everything in between, and the worst.
Mm-hmm.
And both
texted it to you, Rob Browne.
Oh, okay. So a lot
I'm
of
sending
people.
it to him.
Okay. So a lot of people will come out and want to criticize a coach. He's too tough or what. You better be. These kids, they've got to be pushed to the max.
I think you asked it, but you're going to have to deal with the fact that they don't have to either. So they're not going to if they don't have to as well. So there's a hybrid. They're going to have to figure it out. And what you asked me what the difference in like a Lane Kiffin is. Look, it's kind of simple because I've worked with 18, 19-year-old kids in the past in my life. And I'll tell you what, from dude to dude, you just better be cooler. You got to be kind of have a swagger, and you better be able to back it up, because those guys like to talk smack to each other. They like to play, and they like to win, and they want to be on a winning team. They like to follow into battle. They want that person that's got swagger, but is not over swaggered, like someone at LSU when he tries to dance or when I try to dance. Yeah. I'm just saying that's not cool.
Well,
you want the troll. Like, give me the troll on X and all that stuff. He kind of gets the mentality, so he speaks the language to me. And I think if you've worked with that age group, I don't care who you are. The psyche is still the same. You believe in them, and you think you can win. You think you can win.
Well,
I've heard that players don't think from actual players' mouths say off the record they don't think they can win.
Well, let me throw this out, and here's a good point. Gregory Mead says, I know people are comparing records of previous coaches, but I would have to say that their schedule was quite a bit easier. I don't agree with that. There was at least 4 or 5 teams, maybe not in the top 25, that were beatable. When everybody on your schedule is in the top 10, that's pretty tough to come out on top. What I want Gregory Mead to do is follow then with what record is acceptable with these last 2 seasons. What should Billy Napier's record be then? That's what I want to ask. And they lost to South Florida, as Brenden Willoughby so pointed out. So we're going to engage a little bit, because I've heard that. And that's been the thing as well. The schedule was tough. Well, I understand that. Here's my biggest problem with schedule people. You want to say all the schedule was tough. But then whenever somebody says something, you want to poke your chest out and say SEC, SEC. You don't get to have it both ways. And here's my thing. Would you rather play, hear me out. Would you rather play Mississippi State or would you rather play South Carolina? Would you rather play?
Let's ask Roman Harper, who just got into our.
Well, there you go. All right, bring him in. We are joined by 11-year NFL vet, co-host of Reading Reaction, SEC Nation analyst, Roman Harper. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. How about you guys? How are you guys?
All right. Thanks for joining us.
Hey,
for
Roman.
Sure. Just unpacking a lot. Obviously,
to the debate.
Yeah, we were. You were here 2 weeks ago. You picked the Gators to beat Texas. Kind of jumped out on a limb there, but after things went down to Texas A&M, the Boo Birds are back, and it pretty much seems to be the beginning of the end. And for someone like yourself who gets to kind of really look under the hood of all 16 teams, and from what you've seen from Florida over the past 4 years, just in your opinion, I mean, what mistakes have been made? I mean, you've been on good football teams at every level. Where did what was missed at a school like Florida with a fertile recruiting ground, a lot of resources? Where has this thing been missed to where Napier has had a historically poor record in your opinion?
Well, I think you got to start all the way at the top as far as, when Napier got there. When Billy Napier first got there, all I was told was that about Florida, that they were behind in facilities, that the dorm rooms where their players stayed, the indoor facility, the weight room, all those things were reasons why Florida was in the position that they were in. Okay. So I think that you got to start there first. So he didn't start with a great deck of cards. So then you start building it out. He's got the star quarterback in DJ Lagway that he needed to land. That was big. He's got some really good wide receivers that are all freshmen right now that are really standout players. So, and the defense has improved because the first and second year when I watched them on tape, they were horrible defensively. Todd Grantham was the DC, right?
No, it was Stacy. I can't remember.
It was somebody at first.
Andrew Tony.
There, right?
It was Tony. Last name Tony.
So, and I'm not blaming the DC as much as the defense as a whole. I just don't like talking bad about players. But so, they were missing things defensively early on when he got there. And then all of a sudden now he gets the quarterback. Look, it's been one thing or the next. At the end of the day, it is a performance-based business. That is football. Yeah. And so when I look at football from my highest level, where I look at it is like, it's all about, did you make the play or did you not make the play as a player? And as a coach, you're ultimately judged on wins and losses. And right now, Florida's not won enough games for us to talk about how good of a job Billy Napier's done. But the one thing about this team under him is that when their backs are against the wall, they come out and play for him. So that was the one thing. That's why I picked them against Texas.
So, as you you mentioned a lot of things, and I think he has done a lot of great things with player culture, player experience, things like that. But it's always occurred to me, and maybe you see them, they always look like a football team with all those things in play. And, they didn't always have the youth at receiver and different things like that just didn't practice very hard. It was like they were losing games Monday through Thursday. And,
I've never seen them practice.
Oh, okay.
I don't challenge. I've never seen them practice. And so I can't speak on that. But I will say this, that how you practice is how you play. Mm-hmm. And for me to hear that DJ Lagway, like just a couple weeks ago, was his first time like having a real practice throughout the week, like where he can go live, good versus good. Like that sets this team backwards as well, because all the reps that he got the first 3 games should have been all the reps that he was getting in spring practice, developing that communication, that chemistry with his guys, having just a better sense of like real live bullets coming at you, the game reps. Like, how do you get in football shape? Playing football. So that to me was a big red flag coming into the season for Florida. I've said that multiple times, even before the season was happening. I knew that was going to be an issue because ultimately you have to play football if you're going to be prepared to win games. And so that kind of set them back. And look, man, Texas A&M is a better team, flat out. And Florida made some mistakes, but Texas A&M makes a lot of people make mistakes on what they do defensively, especially on third down. That's why Texas A&M has been such a tough out. They're winning on third downs. I think Florida was 1 for 10. I mean, same as who is that? Mississippi State, 1 for 10.
It's like 3
which is better than
30 something.
Yeah, but
over
better,
the last
better,
few games.
yeah, better than Auburn, who was 0 for 13. Sorry, Rob.
Oh, I know. Trust me. Pour it on.
0 for 2 on fourth down. Auburn,
I told you he's the truth broker.
No doubt.
Does the dress make me look fat? Yes.
I guess it just, and like I said, I'm not a person, I'm a former coach. I coached one of your former teammates in high school, so I'm not, this is definitely, none of us want to see coaches get fired. And, it's how do you?
Yeah, but the dominoes have already fallen. Once the dominoes fall, you're not in control of that.
Right.
Like the dominoes have already started falling. And when you see Penn State go spend $50 million to tell them to go away, now that puts pressure on other schools because, it stinks. It's a herd mentality, right? Well, I got to go get a type of player like this. Well, shoot, me too.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, you don't want to be the last one in, right? It's like real
no doubt, absolutely. But Rob and I were talking about this. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of jobs
because it's going to be a lot of jobs open. It was none fired last year in the SEC, none. Well, that's not going to be the same case this offseason. So, and it's interesting because we'll see if Bobby Petrino actually has the ability to keep that job in Arkansas. It's weird, but I don't even want to talk about that one. Sorry, Rob, again.
Oh, no. So when you talk to coaches, Roman, in this new landscape, and it is a results-oriented business, what is the conversation with dealing with the changes and what they're going through, being able to maintain, a certain standard in this new normal with NIL and the transfer portal, and maybe what, in your opinion, separates a guy like a Lane Kiffin who has kind of mastered it, an Eli Drinkowitz that seems to have mastered it, being able to change and take some movable parts, and a couple others that have been able to kind of sustain it. Is it a constant conversation, or is it just, let's grab what we think we can get and practice as hard and put it all together?
So I haven't actually spoken to these coaches about that. So I don't want to put words in their mouth about how they handle it. I will speak on the two coaches, my opinions on the two coaches that you brought up, and Lane Kiffin and Eli Drinkowitz. Number one, I think there are, unapologetically themselves all the time, and they're genuine, both of them. Eli Drinkowitz, I remember doing an interview and we had the quarterback, he slipped my mind right now, for Missouri.
Prabula?
Yeah, Bo Prabula, yes. And somebody asked him if Eli was cool. He was like, dude, Eli's not cool at all. And then Eli walks up and is like, I'm the most non-cool coach in this conference by far. And so he's unapologetically himself. And when you're genuine like that, you have a good staff around you. Missouri's not bad. I'm telling you, I've been to Como a couple of times. It's kind of a vibe. So you're able to recruit. Missouri also has things within the state where that's helped them lock up their own players inside the state of Missouri with some legislative things that they've done. So collectively, everybody's all in. That helps you. And so those things right there, just everybody all in. Everybody's getting everybody's back, and ultimately you got the leader in the right place, and they have a really good system. Like all the things are kind of just in pieces. And no matter the influx, I think the teams that are able to control or manage the influx or outflux of players, because that's all based upon culture, is what they'll say. Like Lane has a good culture. Eli, it's a certain about a culture. Well, culture is just winning, in my opinion. It's the people, and the people stay when you're winning. they're willing to put up with a little bit more. So I think if Florida was winning, then you wouldn't be having these same conversations, because ultimately the teams that quote unquote handle the transfer portal in this age are just the teams that are winning. That's
Right.
the thing. It all comes down to winning.
Yeah, I think that's and I think that's where we are. I mean, I think the question is now, in your opinion, and maybe not. I mean, you could, throw it out there, and it'll probably jump. So be careful if you say it. But who's next? I mean, what if you were? I mean, you got the Alabama shirt on, but if you were, someone asked you and you had to put on a Florida shirt, and you said, okay, is Florida the preeminent job that it used to be? Can someone come in here with this recruiting base and the areas around it and what's going on? Can they build on it? The facilities have improved, but you and I both know they're still not up to snuff as some other places that I'm sure I've been there, you've been there, Rob's been there, Brenden, so we're, it's still some issues there, but is there a guy out there, and is that person, willing to come, and is it, if you had to say, hey, I'm gonna tell these guys the truth about what I really think is going on there?
Well, first of all, I would always just tell the truth, because that's just what I do. You might not like it, but I'm honest.
Right.
Florida is a great job, right? Supposedly. I mean, I don't think it's like lost it that much luster. Still, but I just think in today's environment, all the coaches that Florida is going to want, if Billy Napier is released of his job and his duties, because this team could all of a sudden go on a run. I don't think it will happen, but they could. Like, who's going to, like, the coach that Florida imagines himself being with, right? Because it's like you said it, not me. Is Florida as pretty of a job as it used to be? I think if you come at the right coach, it's very attractive to that coach. But who are you guys going to attract? And when you go for that coach, who are they going to leave? I'm more concerned this year specifically with the SEC about other SEC teams poaching current SEC coaches at the end of the season. I'm very intrigued if that actually happens, because that really doesn't happen too often inside this. You get assistants, but never like head coach to the next one. That just doesn't happen a lot. Last time it was Nick Saban left LSU, but he went to Miami first.
Right. Yeah. And I think that's, I think maybe the Tuberville jump from Ole Miss to Auburn or something like that.
Yeah.
That was I remember.
He wasn't going to leave, but in a pine box. Remember that one?
Yeah. Yeah. And and that's what I tell people. You throw these names out there, Roman, and it's like, you hear Signetti.
You should have known. You should have known, Rob. Yeah. He was going. Rob, you should have known that he was going to be a politician after.
Oh, absolutely.
Right. Yeah, no doubt.
We should have all seen it a million.
We did.
We
saw that coming, no doubt. But that's the thing. You hear the names like Signetti, Drinkowitz, Kiffin. And my question to people, Signetti, and I'm like,
why would Signetti leave to Indiana?
Right. And I'm like, what if they all say no? Then what? And I live here in Gainesville. Exactly. People gonna lose their mind when Alex Golesh is the next coach at Florida. That's
That's what I'm saying. That's why I bring that up, because I can have my opinions, but I'm like you can't put a price tag. Everybody thinks you can just buy people off or just throw more money at the situation or problem, and that's going to solve it. That's not it. It's the same thing when you're conducting and building out rosters and players. You can't tell me it's the NIL that Indiana's handing out that's making them better. No, it's like the raw coaching, the passion in which you play with, the collective group of guys all coming together, and ultimately finding ways to win games and coming closer while doing it. So it's a hard thing. It's a tough business, and just because you win one place doesn't mean you win somewhere else. Kurt Signetti's called lightning in a bottle. Well, actually, not really lightning in a bottle. I apologize by saying that. The dude can flat out coach. And so when the playing field is so much more level now than it's ever been, right? You don't have these teams that are just talent rich way more than everybody else because the transfer portal and NIL. everybody has at least a puncher's chance now. When you don't show up, you can lose to anybody. So that means the things that matter are still ultimately coaching matters.
Right.
The X's and O's, the players understanding exactly where they need to be at all times, and then being able to play together as a team, as a unit, where their eyes are at, and being able to ultimately execute the small things, because the small things in football, nobody likes to talk about them until they cost you. And so when you don't do those things, which Florida, it's cost Florida a couple games. Would Florida still feel that bad if they didn't lose to South Florida? You know?
Probably not. Yeah,
like
probably not. It'd be a different.
You know what I
narrative.
mean?
Yeah.
Like that got the fire, that struck the match early.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get the other results. And so you had the 5 interceptions versus LSU, and you're just like, what are we doing?
Mm-hmm.
And so you lose that game when your defense plays good. And then, it's just all the little things. And it's been a spiral effect ever since. So, it's interesting. And I didn't think Sam Pittman would get fired in 3 or 4 games. That was wild as well. So it's college
no doubt.
football.
I mean, Rob, you remember a certain Tuesday show when I told the Florida fans to buckle up before the South Florida game.
You did.
You remember that? I said, buckle up. I said, that game is going to be a lot tighter than
I got a question.
I told you to buckle up last year.
Could I have a question? Could I have a question for you guys?
The floor is yours, sir.
The Florida fans. Okay, so why is it that I feel like, when I was there, I tried to act like, the fans, because ultimately I think a lot of fans like Billy Napier because he's a nice guy. The players enjoy having him as a coach. Like, people aren't just rooting for Billy Napier to get fired. Like, I think that's been one common statement. Like, I ask people about it. But then it's a lot of people there, like some fans, a lot of young people that just like, we want anybody but him. Like, they were saying they want Penn State's coach. I heard somebody say we want Eddie O. I'm like, Ed Ogeron to Florida?
I've heard that. Right. Yeah. I got a buddy. He's big on Ed O. Yeah. He's big on Ed O.
It's like, I have no idea. And so
someone asked me the other day,
Florida
Roman,
fan base is so all over. You guys tell me.
Because I'm gonna tell you. Go ahead, Brenden.
Be just a mirror. I just want to be a mirror.
No, I'm gonna you go, Brenden, and I'll tell you.
I have one. I'll tell you one name. Jaden Rashada was a bad start to a lot of this, because I think a lot of fans got excited, and then there was a lot of local disdain and booster disdain. That whole thing was not really accepted in the old bag money crowd. We reported on it at our magazine, and we had a couple of insiders that told us, that said, as a collective, we're not supporting him. And so he didn't have the money from the collectives, because the collective was such a mess. And we saw that later on play out, as we're seeing actually I think that they're still in the lawsuit. I don't know if the other side's still going, but nonetheless, we saw that play out. And the Jaden Rashad thing was terrible for Jaden, and because he's a real talented guy. So anyway, that was the first blow that was not good, because he didn't have the money support from the get-go. And Lauren, I'll pivot to you.
Well, no, I was going to tell Roman, it is, like I said, living here in Gainesville, it's about 50-50. And you get some people that, like I said, they like Billy. They're not rooting for him to get fired. And then I know some money guys that are like, either way, I win tonight. If we beat Texas A&M, we win. If Billy loses, we get a new coach. I win. And that's what you get. That's what you get most of the time, is like that kind of thing. And I think, like you said, with some of the young people, I think in this today, it's an instant gratification society. And I think for him, it's the, he's not the rock, he's not the guy. He's not outside, as the young people like to say. He's very closed in. He's very, he's very reserved. And I think that moves people. And even the younger guys in the media that we see, they're just like, guys I talked to at the press conferences, they're just like, come on, like Zach Goodall, who's on here a lot for 247, young dude, knows the game, and it's just not moving the meter for him. And like I said, you can be any way you want to be. I mean, but you got to win. And I think so to answer your question, I think it is all over the place. And like you said, at the end of the day, it's that historically bad record that you just can't, no matter what you think, you can't get from behind. But yeah, I agree with you. I've heard Edo. Somebody said today, why don't Team Tebow come back and coach? You know, I mean, it's just like you hear these things, you get like guys that have it. I mean, and it's just wild. And I'm like, guys, somebody talks about Marcus Freeman, who converted to Catholicism, has like 5 kids, lives 5 hours from his parents, is an Ohio State grad, and for some reason he would come to Florida. I'm just like, come on, man. I mean, and I know Marcus. I'm like, there's no way this is, it's just not good.
So I got that makes me think of one other thing. Sorry.
No, help yourself.
Just listen to you guys. The Jaden Rashada thing. I mean, you said how talented he was. He's so talented. I don't think he ever recovered. So I think that was exactly. Like
I think that was
he never panned out.
I
think that's another thing. Like that also plays into it. Like it is tragic, but then it's also, if he'd have went on and like balled somewhere else, I think that would put more pressure on the NIL or the collective to be like, man, all right, we literally let one slip through our fingers because we didn't do what we need to do. Right. So we need to make sure that doesn't happen again. The fact that didn't happen, I mean, they feel like, see, boom, I don't have to. And then the other part of it,
it's just attached to the money. The boosters, a lot of the boosters got upset about it. And so they didn't have a lot of that early money support. And then this is the big infancy stages of NIL. This is also collectives. All this stuff was new. This was the first like pissing contest between a couple of billionaires or whatever. That was that whole game. So, a lot of this was just, getting out of the blocks.
Yeah. I think that, I mean, it was, it's been all that kind of stuff. And there's been just so much head scratching that I think that's where we are. It's play calling. It's the NIL mistakes. It's all these things.
It's also like he won't get an OC, huh? That bothers spoiler fans too.
Oh yeah, they love that. But it's a much bigger problem than OC. It is. But I mean, yes, start there as well. But before we let you go, we got to pay some bills. Let's talk about the folks at Meldon Law. Go ahead and cue it up. Meldon Law, they got me this tie-dye shirt. Meldon Law, the only official law firm partner of the Florida Gators. Proven and skilled lawyer since 1971. Doing a lot of great things. We got a nice giveaway for the Florida-Georgia game. Get on that. 2-night stay, steak dinner for you folks. So if you win that, go ahead and follow that on Facebook, and Meldon Law take care of you. But they're also giving away championship rings, Roman, at one game. First 10,000 people get a championship basketball ring in a few weeks. So doing a lot of things at Meldon Law. So Meldon Law.
I mean, that's how you get people to show up. Look, it's okay.
Yeah.
Florida's a basketball school. Just
Blue blood.
You guys
Blue blood. Blue blood. Yeah. No doubt.
You guys are a basketball school.
Well,
Alabama, I claim it, bro.
You claim it? It's going down. It's going down in the Coliseum now, huh?
Yeah, going down. We got all kinds of lights and stuff in there now. We're doing
it's fun.
And we're about to get after Auburn, who all of a sudden let the coach's son get the clipboard. It's fine.
Right. We're gonna say about that one for sure.
Speaking of hoops,
I look forward to March Madness now. It's my favorite ones, apparently.
Every week we do a little kicks of the week. I'm trying to get our sponsorship up, the GOAT or StockX. To holler at us. So every week we so I'm coming with the Jordan 14. So this we kind of featuring shoes you can wear to the game on Saturday. So this is the collective from the collection, the Jordan 14.
I think
the orange and the white. So
crazy.
Trying to what's that now?
That's a crazy how many shoes you got, dude.
I mean
that's cool, but
I don't drink, I don't gamble, so it's kind of
there's no vices.
Yeah, no vices for sure. But one thing I want to ask you, Roman, and just humor me because I'll probably send him this clip. Give me a Kurt Coleman story. I know you played with my man Kurt Coleman. I had the pleasure of coaching Kurt as a high schooler, great young man. got a tequila out now. I don't know if you saw that, but it's got a championship tequila or something going on. But got any Kurt Coleman stories for me?
I know he does drink tequila. When he does drink, he doesn't do that often. But I like that's why I call him Fun Kurt. So look, I love Kurt Coleman truly, man. He was a great teammate. He played safety beside me in 2015. He had 8 interceptions. He had an amazing year. But the really good things is that, you know, I'm not an early morning riser, and he liked to watch film and just trying to get me to be a good team guy, and I hated it. But he used to make me get up with him and watch film early in the mornings. He'd come in there all happy and joyful with full of energy, and I'd be effing miserable. I'm like, dude, this is the dumbest thing, because I've already looked at all this. Like, I'm good. I'm a vet at this point. But anyways, I think the best story I have of Kurt is he like split his nose. He like fractured his nose, and it was like pretty much open. He got stitches in it. And then we're playing in some game. I forget. It was later in the season. I forget who it was against. But he like had a hit or something and like split it this time. So now it was like, but it like, he had a visor. So it looked like in the movies where you see like a dead body or like somebody's blood just splatter against the front windshield of a car.
Okay.
That's what it looked like, right? So the play's happening. They're trying to speed it up. He can't see because it's like blood all on his face mask, well, his visor. And he like yells my name because I'm like closer to our sideline. So we safeties, we get the play call. Like, I don't ever go to the huddle. I just get it. I get the hand signal, and then I do what I need to do. I relay and talk and communicate. So I'm getting it. Boom. I tell my corner. I look over at Kurt to kind of make sure we're all on the same page after I talk to Luke and TD. And then he's like telling me what the call is. And he's like, just blood. Just like, I look at him. I'm like, dude, I can't even look at you right now, bro. Like, just, and I just like do the hand signal to him, whatever the play was. And just like, he's like, bro, what are you talking about? I'm like, dude, like, have you seen? I'm like, look at yourself. Like, you can't even see. Like, what are you doing over there? And all this is literally happening in the middle of a game. And I'm like, bro, like, what do you, I can't take you serious right now. So, but he did get cleaned up. He got his visor cleaned up a couple of plays later. But that's probably my best Kurt Coleman story. That and that we call him light skinned Larry. And he acts like a diva sometimes.
Yeah, he does, and he is very light skinned. So that's that's for sure.
He is.
Brutal.
Yeah, but shout out to Kurt, man, great dude, and very proud of the work.
Hey, Rob, what you don't know, Rob, and what you also don't know, Lauren, is that you know, sometimes in DB rooms you got team light skin and team dark skin. Okay. So we like some are like right there in the borderline. Some not trying to be on team light skin. Okay. You know, unless you got tattoos, then you can like pass. That's why Kurt.
Well, you don't know much about.
You got to like
You don't know much about his high school. His high school was team light skin. So it's a lot of
lived in the suburbs.
It was a lot of them. So that's for sure. But
we call that the suburbs.
Yeah, no doubt. I'm putting myself out there as well. But
all right.
So where you guys this weekend, Roman? Where can they catch you? Where you going to be this weekend?
We are going to Tuscaloosa, Alabama for the third weekend in October. A great battle between Tennessee at Alabama. Really excited anytime I get to go home to Alabama, first and foremost. To get to see my mom, my dad probably. And then, of course, Tuscaloosa is my third or home, probably, I'd say. Okay. Second being New Orleans. But, yeah, man, it's always special because I chose to go there. And really looking forward to this game. Tennessee, they're winning at a high clip right now under Harper. They're just a really good team. They're solid. What they do offensively can always present problems versus any team. And then right now, it's going to be interesting because their running back got hurt, Bishop. Dwayne Bishop got hurt, kind of got rolled up. Be interesting to see how this offense continues to run the football at a clip that they try and do it at when he's been their best running back. And this team, as far as they spread you out, they still are a run-first team. That's where they build everything off of. But they got some really good wide receivers on the outside. Brazel, the second. It's got Mike Williams is it's Will something else. That's not it. He's number 4 though. I don't want to get his name wrong. Right. But he's also a receiver that's kind of stepping up, and Kitselman, the tight end. I think a lot of things kind of start and go with him, especially in the run game, and they play action it to him. Alabama's going to have their hands full trying to stop this offense. But ultimately, Tennessee played not good defense at all last week versus Arkansas. So they got to get off that trend if they want to beat Alabama, because right now Alabama's been electrifying offensively. Very, very efficient. Very efficient team offensively. Ty Simpson throwing it to a lot of different players. Everybody's getting their touches. That's what makes them really hard. Is that the hard to stop is that you can't just, we're going to take away Jeremy Bernard. Okay, we'll do that. We're going to throw to Isaiah Horton. We're going to throw it to these young boys we got out here too that can go ball and go get it. So Alabama's looks, and they've been great on third down. To me, the third down continue to sustain drives and been able to effectively run the football. Alabama's been really, really cool. Really good. No, it's been fun to watch Caden Proctor get his touches too. That's been
that's pretty cool. Little quick screen to the big dog. No doubt.
It's entertainment. Just give people what they want, man.
And then something else close to your heart, your foundation. Tell the folks where they can find you with your foundation and the good work you've been doing there as well.
Yeah, man. My foundation, thank you guys for always asking. Harper's Hope for One Foundation. We still do Christmas drives, and it started out as I wanted a reading initiative, because to me that was where I felt like a lot of my friends and stuff kind of went by the wayside when I was growing up, and just I wasn't always the most talented player on my team, but I was always on a lot of really good teams, but I was the one that made it. So that was very important to me to be able to always try and give back in all the communities. Start out in Prattville, but as I continue to evolve and move on in life, then so did my foundation. So we still do a lot of things back in my hometown for Christmas, for the underprivileged, and also here in Charlotte as well.
All right. Well, we appreciate it, man. Thank you. Keep up the good work.
You can check
Shout
us out
to
at
Literacy.
Harper's Hope.
Oh, yeah.
Harpershope.org. Sorry.
All right.
Hey, and Roman, one other thing. I saw Greg Cotton today out in Collierville at lunch from the Memphis Touchdown Club, and he's a big fan. Everybody is. We were talking about you last night at the Touchdown Club. Said, come by his tailgate. He's going to reach out to you. He does a big spread in Tuscaloosa, but you are one of the
He said it was at 53 or something. It's kind of in the quad. I was not going to go. I was going to leave right after my show, but I think my wife and my kids are wanting to come to the game now. Just today they told me this, so I think I'm about to have to switch my whole life up.
Right. Well, you slipped out on me at Spurs a couple Fridays ago. I was going to holler at you again before you left, but because my wife wanted to meet you, because like I said, our grandkids, literally Roman and Harper, will be here Friday for the Mississippi State game. So that's kind of crazy. So Roman, shout out to Roman and Harper. They'll be in the house. They'll be in the swamp for the Miss 11
How did
and
y'all
9.
come up with that again?
What's that? It just happened. It was coincidence.
It's random.
It was coincidence. And my son played with Kurt in high school. So I mean, it's it's all coming together. It's 6 degrees of separation for sure.
Wow.
But yeah, so they will be in the house. Yeah. So they're ready to come to the swamp.
Thank you guys.
Appreciate you coming on, man. Definitely.
Thank you always, more than you know. Appreciate it.
Thanks, yes, sir.
All right, man. All right. Y'all boys be good, man. Great job.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you
very much. Thanks.
Dude,
but you know what's cool?
He's the best.
Oh yeah, it's unbelievable.
Ever. Really either show, he's my favorite guy.
He comes on in the morning and nights, and I tell you, about 3 years ago, Audrey and I were up in Knoxville, and we saw him on SEC Nation, and we yelled, "Hey, Roman!" And Audrey goes over there, my wife, and says, "Roman, my cousin Mark's got the biggest tailgate on the hill in Knoxville." And Roman's like, "I'm down with that."
Yeah.
Walking from the SEC Nation bus to Mark Ham's tailgate by the torch guy in front of the stadium up at Neyland Stadium, I bet 250 people approached him. He stopped for everybody. Hugs, high fives, pictures, autographs. He's just genuinely good person. Both his mom and dad went to Alabama State. He's just a good guy. Hey, look at there, Stella.
Look at get off your daddy lap.
Not feeling good today. My
daddy lap.
And she took a nap, and she's been sleeping for hours.
What's up, girl?
Look at this, you little baby.
All right. So as we finish, if you get your hands free, Titan MRI and Imaging. Titan MRI and Imaging is now back. 3 locations to serve you, 2 in Gainesville with this Park Avenue location, and now at the Millennia Center, and 1 in Lake City, serving all of Columbia County and Valdosta, Georgia. And I think the Ocala is open as well now. I got to check in that, but I got some people going there. Titan MRI and Imaging offers MRIs, CT scans, X-rays, and ultrasounds. Easy scheduling with lots of options, including evenings, larger MRI machines for patient comfort for people like me. No ERs, no hospitals. Titan MRI is your choice. Great show tonight. Got a lot of special guests. Had Roman Harper. Had Stella. Got who's that? That's what's the dog's name?
Sammy the Bones, dude.
Sammy. Yep, Sammy. So Sammy didn't go to Pensacola, huh? Or where?
That's my dog.
Oh, it's your dog. Okay.
Oh, no. Okay. No, that's my dog. No.
All right. But for Rob Browne of SEC Sidelines, super producer Brenden Martin, I'm your host, Lauren Meadows. Thank you for super executive.
And for Lauren Meadows, the hot new show on the internet.
Man.
The man right here, Lauren Meadows.
Man, I appreciate
the cool
you guys.
shirt.
Thanks.
The cool groove
shirt, bro.
Yeah, so I'm going to have to sneak in and get one of them championship rings. I'm going to tell you that now. I will be one of the first.
Are they going to for sure have that?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Okay, cool.
I think it's one of them weird schools they're playing.
Well, no, I was talking to Jeffrey when he was the coach was down at
Oh, they're not going to do it for real?
No, they were just they were saying they're got to find someone that wants to make that many for them.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well,
not that they didn't find it; they got it all worked out. I'm not talking about that. No, he's just saying because you know how he's a great dude. Like he'll never lie to you. Jeffrey's a straight up guy.
Yeah, no doubt.
As far as lawyers and all that, and as far as people, Jeffrey Meldon is one of my favorite Gators, favorite guys to hang out. You remember we rolled with them up in Salt Lake?
Oh yeah,
they used to welcome us in.
Park City was awesome,
and his son is cool too. Kerry Meldon, those guys.
Yeah, no, Kerry's a good dude.
Yeah, shout out. We got to bring Kerry on. We got to.
Let's do that.
We should do that. We should bring Kerry Meldon on.
Let's do it.
All right,
folks.
You guys have
appreciate you coming on. I'm good, Rob.
Thanks for letting me love bomb your show.
Oh, no doubt, man. You had to be.
Oh, Rob, you're on tomorrow. Rob?
Yeah, who you got on tomorrow, Rob?
You got Jake Wimberly, Jackson, Mississippi, doing all kind of numbers and matrix. Jake Wimberly followed up right after that. Going to have a blast with Heath Klein, producer and co-host of the Chuck Oliver Show in Atlanta. 71 sticks in 9 states, as Chuck says. Dudley Dawson inside Arkansas. Vince Ferrara, the sports animal in Knoxville. We got Mark Schleybaugh on Thursday morning, Ivan Mazel Friday morning. This channel is where you go. One stop, one shop, multiple hours of power. Thanks for letting me be on.
All right.
Hours of power, Rob. I think I like that.
Appreciate you guys coming on. We'll see you next week where we'll be recording live from somewhere. Have a good evening.
Thanks, everybody.